love it. That sounds like a jam-packed, action-packed afternoon, with having the remainder of this round with the ladies and then straight into the men's and maybe overlapping heats. I mean, that would be super fun to watch. A lot of action during those heats. So, it's just you can't look away. The whole thing is happening one after the other. And, I think with the peaks up and down the beach, you might be able to get away with that. I feel like, are we going to see a difference? Is there a speed difference? Is there a turn difference? Because they both have that power base, and I can't wait to see the comparison.
Tyler Wright with a committed paddle, and she's up and riding, just finding that beautiful line, threads that barrel, and comes in for a strong finish. What a way to open up our return to competition this afternoon. Stone
cold stare. That is just so solid,
That was
I mentioned it, but for her to just, no nerve, dropping in, I got this. Throw it into the lip like this. Watch this. She ducks under this little hood, right? Nice little quick tube, but then to throw it into the lip late like that, especially we're coming out of a low tide, it is so hard to negotiate that. We saw Kelly Slater go down. We saw Stephanie Gilmore falling on those turns. We saw all these amazing surfers falling off at the end, and she was, the base is so strong and she gets low enough over her board where she rides out of that.
To be able to find that actual success in riding out, like you said, as we've seen plenty of the surfers falling on the end section throughout the week.
It's a really, really hard section to negotiate.
Gabriela Bryan having a look. Up and riding on her forehand off the bottom into that big first top turn. Just tries to release that tail a little bit and bites the rail on the way down.
The kindness is not a weakness in
It's
Tyler
just
Wright.
like that almost evil glimmer of she knows she's got it now. As we see Gabby sliding that tail through, and that wave will shut down in front of her.
Finding a good wave with multiple maneuvers is really hard. And the wave shuts down so fast on the inside that you really have to be in front of it.
Gabby drops into 2.5 for that last wave. And we've got Paul Evans down on the sand. Well, we'll wait for just a moment because Gabby has come flying through on her backhand attack, gets that single turn connected together. Some great consistency as we take a look at another cover-up for Tyler.
Yeah, quick under the hood and then throws the lip line blast, and you saw the board releasing in the lip.
Big surf, difficult to negotiate, and really showed that these women have the power to match those kind of conditions. As we see Gabby now having a look on her backhand, up into the lip, and releases that tail well. She's now going to pump through to connect on that finishing section, and loses all the momentum.
That was a tough wave. She had to take it away from Tyler because Tyler was already on a run through this heat, making a statement, pushing out in front. So you saw Tyler there dipping out, but Gabby having priority, comes off the bottom, finds the lip line, but just on the shoulder, only time for one turn, and then really looking for anything else just to kind of give it the extra mark on there, but it doesn't happen. These waves bottoming out nice and hollow. Gabby really pushing hard though.
Yeah, that's true. Just to get into it a little bit earlier and have more wave to work with before that finishing section shuts down, as we see Tyler Wright just flies over out the back of that wave. I was hoping something would open up for her. She's staying active now. Gabby back to priority. It's a little bit of ping pong back and forth between the women. As a strong paddle is coming through from Tyler. She's going to get into the corner, and big powerful whip back into the pocket. Sets up for that third maneuver and puts that board really well on rail. Bit of variety between those three turns.
That you see out of her while she's surfing, it comes back in the score line. You can't go out a wave and kind of just halfway do it. The judges are watching every little bit, and even as you kick out of a wave, they're still watching. They're looking at every little distinctive thing that you're putting together, and that's something that goes into the score line. And this wave underneath the priority of Gabriela Bryan. So, that was maybe a mistake by the rookie, not to stay close to her opponent, give her the opportunity to catch anything. It was going to be a surprisingly kind day for us.
Tyler Wright on her backhand, big floater to start things off, and just dives through. Does some lobster fishing. And 13 minutes on the clock, scores to come through for Tyler Wright.
You think okay, there's hope there, even on the men's side with Taj Burrows.
Tyler Wright now up and riding big up into that first section. So much speed.
Oh, so much power. You know, but that's the way you have to attack a wave like this. You have to give it the power for power kind of stance on it, because if you don't, you're just going to come off your board. You have to have momentum to ride out.
Both of these women, their very first time competing here at Super Tubos. And Tyler Wright now straight up into the lip, jams that first turn, and she'll kick out the back. Tyler freed up under priority. She's going to have a look at this one, driving down the line, finding some speed, goes into that first big top turn, wraps it around on the second, and connects together for the finish, and she's feeling it with the claim. Well, a fierce competitor in Gabriela Bryan going down to the two-time world champion in Tyler Wright, and Gabby's going to have one last look at this one, but it will be after the buzzer. She's just going to have a fun little surf on her way in and reset and get ready for Australia.
Yep, that's going to be a little learning experience, and my hat's off to Tyler Wright for just going out there and belting it, looking awesome.
And these are the types of conditions that she thrives in for Tyler Wright. We're expecting good things of her, these solid beach breaks.